It's time once again for a powerful mix of fitness, focus, and philosophy. Philosophy? That's right. Kick back and get ready for your host. Wisdom keeps her fit mentally, squats keep her fit and fine physically. Yes, I said fine. Tune in and prepare to challenge your body and your mind with Professor Kristen. Hester, you'll think better, you'll live smartly, and all thanks to Kristen teaching us right now how to squat wisely. And now here's Professor Kristen. Hester.
Today I want to focus on a term that I'm sure many of you have heard about. The term is Imposter Syndrome. Imposter Syndrome. One of the interesting things about fitness, whether you are just starting to work out, whether you are someone who is trying to be a fitness professional, the gym, the whole fitness concept in general is where you will come in contact with a lot of people who feel like imposters. When you're brand new to working out, you're intimidated to go to a class, you're intimidated to sign up for a membership. You're intimidated to even work out with a trainer because you may feel like I've let myself go. My cardio endurance is terrible. Basically, you'll feel like you look like a fraud trying to be in the gym with these people who you feel may be more seasoned than you are. And then there's the side of those who are brand new, completely green to being a fitness professional. So they decide they want to lead a fitness class, or maybe they want to be a personal trainer. And they feel like, man, my cardio endurance is not quite like Sean T's, or, maybe I'm not as physically fit as Billy Blanks or someone else out there who you think is great in fitness. And so we talk to ourselves and we have this internal dialogue that actually is very self-defeating, and it cripples us before we even get started good. So I want to use this episode to encourage you to realize that if you're starting at square one, whether that's realizing you need to start working out, whether it's this epiphany that you feel a career in fitness could be a game changer for your life, remember that everybody starts at square one. One of the interesting things that I discovered about myself, I went into fitness definitely with feelings of an imposter type of syndrome within myself. I didn't feel like I looked fit enough. I didn't feel like I knew enough about fitness. I didn't feel like my cardio endurance was where it should have been. And all of the things that I feared, all of the things that I felt solidified why I should feel like an imposter, why I should feel like a fraud, were the very things that people were encouraged by. They liked that they saw someone that could relate to their experience. They liked that they had someone who could actually remember what it was like when they were new and just trying to get started. They liked my level of understanding because it wasn't really that long ago that I was right where they were. And truth be told, I am still where they are in some respects. I remember when I was hiring a personal trainer, and I always go back to those moments when I had a personal trainer compared to how I am now as a personal trainer myself. And in my lifetime, I've actually had two different personal trainers, two different ones. And with one of the personal trainers, it really bothered me that when we would do a warm up, say with jumping jacks, it bothered me that I felt that this person would be annoyed because I would tire very easily. And now, of course, I can do jumping jacks, and it's very easy. I can go a straight minute without even really getting tired. I can even go longer than a minute. But when I first started out, really the first maybe 20 seconds or so of jumping jacks would about, wear me out. And I could tell my trainer would be a little bit annoyed. And it was as if this person was forgetting that I was out of shape. I was just getting started. And so when I deal with my clients, I understand that they are going to huff and puff. I understand that they are going to struggle. And I equally understand that this is just their current experience that they will, in time, grow from. We all start out feeling like imposters on some level, whether it's fitness, whether it's your first job, whether it's your first so-called big job. It doesn't matter. We all begin at square one. And in time and with experience, we all grow from there. So I want you to enjoy those moments where you are completely green. I want you to really feel those moments when you are completely lost and you feel like, what am I doing here? Why did they give me this opportunity? I want you to really feel those moments, because there will be a time where you will dramatically grow from those early beginnings. And you'll be like myself. I'm amazed that I struggled just with 15, 20 seconds of jumping jacks. I'm amazed that I struggled at that. But I also understand it. And so your shortcomings and where you were once weak and now you are much stronger, you will naturally be able to transfer that understanding over to someone else. Before I wrap up this topic, I do want to include a quote that I think fits in very nicely. It comes from an author. She's also a popular speaker. Some of you might be familiar with her, but if not, you'll learn about her right now. Her name is Marianne Williamson. And Marianne Williamson has a quote that is very popular. I know a lot of people who have quoted this particular quote. I've seen it before, even on social media. And basically, the quote says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." I'm going to repeat that. According to Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. You know, when I first started out speaking and I really started doing it a little bit more, I was reminded of an interview that I saw with Michael Jackson a long, long time ago. And Michael Jackson, in this interview, he was explaining how he basically is his own competition and how he's always looking for the next greatest. I believe it was Thriller was one of his really top albums. I could be wrong, but it was a specific album. And he was saying in the interview how that's what he's always going after. He's always going after that huge, big moment in his career. And it could have been Thriller or some other song because he has like so many hits. But he was saying that he is his own competition. When I first started speaking, my very first engagement where I was recorded was at Toastmasters. And a lot of professional speakers have started out at Toastmasters. It's a great platform for new speakers. It's really great if you're really nervous about speaking and you want to conquer that fear. And Toastmasters has something that everyone does that's called an icebreaker speech. If you go through the whole Toastmasters program, that will more than likely be your very first speech that you deliver. So when I did my icebreaker speech, that's what I recorded. That's the video that I use to really ignite my speaking career forward. That was my first time really officially doing something as a speaker. And the ironic thing about that speech is that when people contact me now, I feel a lot like Michael Jackson. I feel like I am always competing with the moment of that speech. And what's interesting to me, you know, when I first started out, I'm not Les Brown. I'm not like, who I just quoted, Marianne Williamson. I don't have lectures all over the place, and I'm not some known person. So naturally, the whole imposter syndrome, will kick in. Our feelings of, being fraudulent will kick in. And then you actually get the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to put myself out there anyway, experience or no experience. And then you mess around like Marianne Williamson says, and you are more powerful than you even realized you could be. And then you realize you are your own competition. And when people contact me, there's a certain line that I say in that icebreaker speech, and I kind of say it over and over again because it goes with the flow and the power of how I wanted to deliver that speech. And that speech is very personal because it's a reflection of my life. It's a reflection of who I am. The story that I'm sharing is very personal. But what amazes me about that and why it has become something that is like competition for me with myself is because some kind of way, when people hear that speech, they hear a piece of themselves somehow. I don't know, because it's my story, it's my life, it's my experiences, but it's something about that speech that's been the biggest marketing thing that I could ever put out there, because most of the time, that's what seals the deal when people want to bring me in to speak. And I'm always feeling like I'm competing with creating that energy, creating that moment, giving people those feelings that come from a personal place for me, but somehow finding a way to always make it communicate and resonate with something within those who are listening to me. I'm forever competing with that. And it all was birthed from a place of feeling like an imposter, feeling as if, who am I to try to be a speaker? Who am I to think that people would actually want to pay me to come in to speak? And first time out of the gate, I was more powerful than I even realized, even feeling like an imposter. So as I close this out today, I say to you, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Afraid, do it. Feeling like a fraud, still do it. And you may actually discover that you are a lot more powerful than you even realize. You can feel like an imposter, and you can allow those feelings to motivate you into greatness or to cripple and silence you into a place of fear. Be bold, be brave. And like my voice teacher told me when I was going to voice lessons consistently, right or wrong, sing out strong. And in the end, I'm sure you'll finish well, and you'll be a lot more powerful than you think. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really appreciate your listenership. I hope you are enjoying the podcast. As always, you can subscribe by searching Squat Wisely on iTunes and Stitcher, and you can listen to the show on iHeartRadio. Just search Squat Wisely. Please head over to our Facebook page and search Squat Wisely to like the page. If you're enjoying the show, you can leave a review through iTunes. So for those who listen to the podcast through iTunes, be sure to leave us a review, good, bad, or indifferent. We appreciate all of the feedback. Guys, thank you again for listening. You know I'll be back next time to do this all over again.
Your ears have been listening to the insightful Squat Wisely podcast with Kristen Hester. Kristen is a fitness professional, philosophy professor, and powerful motivational speaker in Atlanta, Georgia. Each week, she delivers wisdom that will inspire and enlighten you to lead a mentally and physically fit lifestyle. Be sure to tune in next time for another dose of much-needed wisdom for the body and the mind.